Hello everyone, welcome to the journey of Jayden Mark Smith. I'm actually sitting here with his mum Rhonda, and while the little man is sort of semi-awake in bed, we're going to try and get some of his journey up. And yes, I like to have a bit of wine, so I'll be drinking wine while we do it, so I can relax, and I can think of things to ask mum along the way to jolt the memory, because Jayden's story is quite a big medical story. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone for following his story and always asking me how he's doing. And let's not waste any time, and we shall. Actually, I don't even think I can change this video cam while I'm talking, so I'll have to go with the phone. So this is actually what I'll do. I might put my chair over there and sit near, so I can hold the phone. So what I'll do, we're just going to move chairs and that around. Put my drinking that over there so I can reach it. Oh.
Bring yours over so I can put my feet up.
Mum wants the chair so she can put her feet up. Bloody lazy. Alright. Now I get comfortable. Alright. So, this is a very important video to me because a lot of the start of his few years, I actually wasn't in Jayden's life a lot because of my own journey that I was doing myself. But I want you to always show Jayden's mum Rhonda respect to the highest level you can, because what she's done for this boy over 18 years, not a lot of people would be able to do, because it is very heartbreaking, very overwhelming, and it's a hell of a lot of stuff to take in. So, say hello to Rhonda.
Hi.
That's Jayden's mum Rhonda. Rhonda, would you like to tell him a little bit about Jayden's journey?
Yep.
I like that, thank you.
Okay.
So, where do we start this journey from?
I'll start from birth.
Okay, let's start the journey and let's tell people what you've experienced and also what Jayden's been through.
Okay. So when I was pregnant with Jayden, I had all the scans that you have when you're pregnant, and nothing came back with any issues. So I thought I was having a healthy baby. I was booked in for a C-section because his head was too big to come out of the pelvis.
Oh, buddy bullhead.
Yeah.
And he's still got a big head.
He still does have a big head.
He always weighs him down.
So I was booked in to have a C-section, and they were going to do the epidural so I could be awake, but they couldn't get it into my spine. So I actually had to have a general anaesthetic and be knocked out.
No, he doesn't know that.
Yeah. So my mum was at the hospital at the time. And
Thank you, Mum.
yeah. And I had the general, and they delivered the baby. And after that, I don't really know what happened because I was knocked out, obviously.
In La La Land.
Sorry?
La La Land.
La La Land, definitely. And so my mum said that when she held him for the first time, he was very quiet. And she could kind of tell something wasn't 100% right. The nurses looked sort of flustered, and they were trying to organise things for him to go to the special care nursery. So he's gone to the special care nursery. I've gone up to the ward. My mum went home because they didn't really tell her anything was that wrong.
Typical.
And then I remember that night I woke up because I could hear babies crying in the ward, but I couldn't move. So a nurse came in. The whole room was dark. She came in and just gave me a big dose of morphine, and I went back into La La Land, basically.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just quickly, can you pass me one packet?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going to have a cigarette while she talks to us because it's quite overwhelming. So anyway.
So the next morning, I still didn't know anything about Jayden. I hadn't even met him yet. And 2 nurses came in to get me up and showered. That was a little bit traumatic because I was still really not stable on my feet. And
doing the hokey pokey.
Yeah, so they just basically showered me and expressed what they could get out and left me.
It's a bit traumatizing.
Yeah. And then that afternoon, somebody came with a wheelchair and said, "Oh, we'll take you to the special care nursery to meet your baby." Okay, cool. So they put me in a wheelchair and they take me around to the nursery, and all the parents, we had to wait outside while the nurses and doctors were talking inside. Still pretty out of it from the morphine and all the drugs.
As it would be.
I kind of felt out of my body, I guess. Kind of felt like I was just going to slump out of the wheelchair.
Nothing worse than that feeling when you're going to slide out of something.
Yeah, they eventually took me in to see Jayden. He was in her midi crib.
That's that plastic thing where you put your hands in, isn't it?
Yeah, just a plastic
You see him at like Hungry Jacks and all that, donating money and that.
Yeah. So he's in one of them. He had a nappy on. He had wires on his chest monitoring his heart rate, and he had a nasal tube. So he had a tube going into the nose to have feeds.
So the feeding tube, yeah. What do they call that? They call that something, don't they?
Nasal gastric tube.
That's it.
So they put him in my arms and then left. So I'm in the corner by myself with Jayden. I didn't know why he had the monitoring on. I didn't know why he had the nasogastric tube. And I was just holding him, and I must have been there for at least half an hour, and I started to feel like, oh my God, I'm going to drop him. Like, I was really still very affected from the morphine.
As you would be.
I can't remember when a nurse came back and took him. And then I went back to my room. So nothing was said, nothing was discussed, nothing was explained at this point. I've gone back to the room. And then I think it was later that afternoon after lunch, my mum and my brother came in to visit. And we're like, okay, you have your lunch.
Which brother came in?
Andrew.
Good old Andrew.
And we said, oh, we'll go see the baby after I had my lunch. And then just as I said that, the phone rang.
Oh, shit.
And we're all looking at each other like, do we pick up the phone? Like, So I did, hello. And this cardiologist was on the phone. He said, hello, my name is Dr. Hawker. I'm from...
He's a dinosaur, that bloke.
I'm from the Children's Hospital at Westmead. Do you want the rest? And we have your baby here. He's very, very unwell.
Just to interrupt Rhonda quickly, Dr. Hawker actually looked after me when I was a baby going through my heart surgery.
Yeah.
So there's a very big link of story here that we hold as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So after that phone call,
He died.
yeah, I pretty much collapsed. I was crying. My mum immediately was, a mama bear, She went straight down to the nurse's station and said, "What the heck is going on?"
She's a very good lady, Rhonda's mum, when it comes to Jayden and all the medical.
Nobody could say anything. Nobody really knew anything.
Speaking of which, here comes a little man.
And then after that big confuckle, basically, they
Hey, little dude, we're doing a video about ya. He's like,
they said to my mum, "Oh, don't go over to the children's. You wouldn't find him." And my mum said, "Oh, make a bet, I'll go find him." you know and
she's good at that.
yeah, after that, like, they even brought like the patient liaison person in, because I think they realized they had stuffed up big time. Like, I hadn't been told anything, my baby was gone, I knew nothing, I had no idea what was going on with him. He'd gone over to the children's hospital to have all these tests that I did not know anything about. And then the next part of the story is me going over to the children's hospital at Westmead to see him, but it wasn't until that night.
What happened that night?
Well, it wasn't until nighttime that they got a porter to take me over there.
Oh, you didn't have to walk.
Well, I couldn't walk after a C-section.
Do you want to come here, little man?
So I have to go now because Jayden is awake, and when I get the chance, I'll continue.
No worries. Well, thank you everyone for listening. But when little man calls, we got to drop what we're doing and attend to him. So, cheers everyone, and I'll continue this story as soon as we can. Thank you.